All right. So, good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to have Jasmine on the phone with us, on the training call with us. And I first wanted to just get started and hear your story. Like, I've read it, but I never heard you actually say your story.
Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on the call. I'm very honored. So thank you. I'm really, really excited to chat with you guys tonight. So I started in It Works back in 2016, about 2 years ago. And my background is I'm an occupational therapist. I went to FAMU. I got my bachelor's and master's degree from FAMU. And I graduated school with a ton of student loan debt. Came home. My husband is a nurse, so we both graduated about 6 months apart, and we got married the beginning of my second year of grad school. So we were married in college. We came home. We moved in with my parents for about 4 months. We ended up getting our own spot, and then we stayed in Lakeland, I live in Orlando, so we stayed in Lakeland, which is about an hour away, for about 2 years. We ended up having our daughter, Avery, and I was working at a school. I got a job offer from the clinical site that I worked at while I was in school. So I was working there. It was good. The pay was horrible, but I really, really enjoyed what I did. And so once we stayed over in Lakeland for a little while, my husband ended up getting a job promotion over to Orlando at Florida Hospital, and they were giving like a sign-on bonus, a relocation bonus. And so I was excited. I was like, okay, this is going to be great. Orlando is a big city. Lakeland is really small. So I'm excited to because I know I'm going to get paid more over there, and it's going to be so much better. And that was the absolute opposite of what happened. So I came over here, could not find like a salary job. Everything was contracted. And if you know anything about being a contractor or an independent contractor, you basically only get paid when you see clients, when you have patients. So I got a job at this outpatient clinic, and I would be there, y'all, from like 9 to like 6. And people would cancel all the time. And there was no cancellation policy, although I was told that there was one. But there was no cancellation policy. Everybody could just cancel and nothing happened. They could just come the next time if they wanted to. So I would be there for like 9 hours and get paid for maybe like 4 hours. It was horrible. It was like 45 minutes from my house. I dropped my daughter off early in the morning, and she would be the last child at the daycare. And at that point, she was not even a year old yet. So I was miserable. I stayed there for like a month, but I put in my notice within like a week and a half. I was like, I can't do this. Like I was the breadwinner in our house at that time, and we were taking a hit. We moved to a bigger city, which was a higher cost of living. Daycare went up. She was in a home daycare. We were paying like $90 a week, and it went up to like $216. Everything just went up, literally everything. So I was just like in a space where I knew I wanted more. And I saw Vanessa and Makesa, we all went to college together. We all came in the same year. Makesa actually stayed up on the floor higher than me in the dorm. So we saw each other all the time. And I saw them doing this rap thing. And I'm like, they are crazy. Like I would never, ever, ever do anything like that. And my cousin Burgundy, I don't know if you all know Burgundy. I'm sure you probably have seen her name floating around out there. But she had did It Works way before them. And I thought she was crazy. So I was like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not doing that. And so I ended up leaving that job, getting another job, but I went without work for like a month and a half during Christmas time. So it was difficult. It was very, very difficult. And the second job was, again, another contracted job. And this job was a little bit more stable. It was at a school, so it was a little bit more stable. But, the kids are always out of school. So it was constantly me not getting paid, like never consistent paychecks. And there were other things that happened where I really felt like I was having to choose between coming to work and taking care of my daughter when she was really, really sick one time. Like literally we were in the hospital like 3 days in a row, at the doctor's office for like 5 days trying to figure out what was going on with her. And I was getting heat from my job. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So I started looking for another job and nothing came about. So I was in a desperate place. Like our bills were piling up. My car payment was like 2 months late. The turning point for me was when Ford literally called my mom's job, and her assistant answered the phone, and they asked for when I was going to make a payment. Now, I don't care if my mom knew I was struggling, because my mom was helping us survive. But the fact that somebody else like knew what was really going on, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to do something different. And so I prayed and I asked God to just show me what it is. So I started looking at second part-time jobs, and literally God shut all of those doors. He just shut them right in my face. And again, if you are familiar with the therapy world at all, when there are jobs on Indeed for a whole year, they will literally hire anybody with the degree and with the certification or a license. But they would not hire me. And I'm like, God, like, what do you want me to do? So this opportunity kept popping up. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. Like, absolutely not. That's not me. I don't like talking to people like that. I don't want to sell anything. Salespeople are super aggravating. I don't want any parts of that. So he kept putting it in my face. And my husband was like, well, I think you should do it. And I got on an opportunity call and I felt led. But I literally was fighting myself, y'all. Like, tears. I don't want to do this, but I know I'm supposed to do it. And eventually I said yes. And I told my husband, I'm going to give it 6 months. That's it. And if this doesn't change my life and change our lives in 6 months, then I'm not going to do it anymore. And he was like, okay, but you better give it 6 months. So within a week, I knew that I would be here long term. As far as, you know, moving up in the company, I got my first distributor, like my 3rd month in the business. I love to say that because people get so impatient. They think that, you know, if you don't get a DT your first month, then that just defines your whole path of success. So I didn't get my first DT until then. I went executive in month 4. And then I didn't go Ruby until I was 8 months into the business. Which I love to say that too. Did not go Ruby until 8 months. After I went to, that was in January. So in February, I went to conference. March, I hit Emerald. And then May, I hit Diamond. Sat at Diamond for almost the whole year. And then this year, in March, I hit Double Diamond. And in May, I hit Triple Diamond. So I can talk, I guess I'll let you kind of ask questions. I can kind of talk a little bit more about what that's looked like over time. But that's a little bit about like my story and how I got here and my journey so far.
Yes, thank you. Because that was going to be my next question. Like, how was your journey in promotion? Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet because they're hollering back there.
Okay, so you know, every promotion was very different. You know, my executive promotion, I've always been a high LC enroller. I remember my first full month in the business. I'm sorry, actually it was my 2nd month in the business. I was like, y'all know how Irena used to post like the top LC enrollers? That was me. I was like the 5th name on there, like my second full month in the business. So I've always been a high LC enroller. So when I went executive, that was all me. That was all me. Like I had people there, but they really weren't bringing in people like that. So they fell off. And I'll never forget, you know, I told Vanessa, I had Ruby's like I was charted for Ruby, but people were not really working. Like it just didn't feel right. And I'll never forget, I called Vanessa and I said, look, I'm sure your promotions are relying on me, but I don't feel comfortable building like this. Like I can't sustain a business that's not solid like this. I don't even want to start it. And so she understood, and I just kind of focused on bringing in new blood and really building up my loyal customer volume. And I got it up to like 1,500, 1,600, and it was great. And so once I did that, I let go of that dead weight. And then Whitney, who is one of my diamonds, and Heather, who is one of my diamonds, they came in like literally like 3 days apart. And after they came, my friend Brittany came. This girl named Shannon was there. And it was one other girl who's not here anymore. And so we went and hit Ruby. Heather hit executive, and it just felt right. It felt right because I had people that were working. One person really was not really carrying her weight, but I was like, okay, I could deal with one box. I'm not going to let one person stop me from getting this promotion. So that was my Ruby. That journey between executive and Ruby was just a lot of patience and trust, and just really not forcing those promotions when it just was not the right time. And then from there, you know, every promotion has been super peaceful. I really can't explain it. Just everything falls into place. You know, we haven't had to spend, you know, money. Like literally, I think when I went diamond, I don't think we spent any money, like none. Double diamond, I think I spent like maybe $100, but that's my monthly order. I just always buy my monthly order at the end, at month end. So from promotion to promotion, that's pretty much how it's been. It's been very peaceful. You know when the time is right because everything falls into place and everybody kind of picks up that momentum and pull their own weight. I don't know if that answers your question, Antoinette. Do you want me to talk about anything specifically?
Okay. No, actually, because you just said what I was going to ask next, which was going to be how was your customer retention? Like, how are you getting customers? You know, especially since you just said that you were a top enroller in terms of customers. So, how were you getting those customers? Like, what necessarily were you doing?
So, I honestly, y'all, I was talking about this business like I knew it was going to work for me. I talked about it like I knew it was going to work for me, even though I had no idea. Like in my my human mind and my human eyes, it did not make sense to me. But again, everything was so spiritually led. So I knew that God brought me here, and I saw what He was doing. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to ride this wave and see, you know, what happens. So what I was doing was I was using the products. When I got my kit, I got the cleanser and the toner because I really needed to work on my skin. And then I got the greens. And so I always made videos about, you know, how I make my greens. And I talked about the hair vitamins. I started using those and I got my own results. And then I just asked my family and friends to support me. Not many of them did. So I was like, hey, let me go back over here to social media and I'm going to just talk to people there. So literally, y'all, one thing that has never changed about my business since the very beginning is my posting. I post 4 times a day. And I know with the algorithms and all that stuff, you know, some people say you shouldn't, some people say you should. I do it because it has literally worked for me. It has worked for me and it has worked for my team. So every morning I post an inspirational post. At 12 o'clock, I either post a business or product post. And then around 5 o'clock, I do a lifestyle post, and then at night I'll do either a product or a business post, whichever one I didn't do earlier in the day. And then I really try to be intentional about going in my stories. Sometimes I kind of fall short there, but I really try to go into my stories and show things there as well. But at that time, it was just posting. It was literally being consistent. It was going live, talking about the products. It was going live, rapping David. My husband's name is David, rapping him on live. If I was at rap parties, I would go live while I'm there. And like I said, I convinced people. And in the meantime, like I literally convinced myself that I was going to make this work for me and that it was going to work. So posting, I didn't do a whole lot of in-person stuff because I literally came here because I didn't really have a whole lot of time. I wanted more time with my baby. And what I realized with rap parties, to be completely honest, the people that I was dealing with, it was supposed to start at 4 and it didn't start till 6, and I didn't get home till 9 o'clock, and I'd be gone for 5 or 6 hours out of the day. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. So I really built completely on social media.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that because that was the same way with me. Like I would bring Audrey with me to parties and we would be there all day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what actually like clicked for you? Because I know at one point, like I remember you putting in the Diamond chat that you had enrolled like so many distributors. So what do you feel like really clicked when you enrolled all those distributors?
So y'all, it's very simple. It's very simple. I never forget. I was on YouTube and I was like, okay, I've been at Diamond since, this is when I hit Diamond. I had been at Diamond since May. I did not send out messages. I got all the way to Diamond and did not send out messages. No lie, y'all. But when I got there, it was kind of like I hit a wall. And I was like, okay, so what are we going to do? Like, what's next? So I got on YouTube and I looked up some stuff, and I ran across Jocelyn Yates' video about how you can enroll 30 DTs in 30 days or something like that. So I watched that video, and she talked about how, like, every day you should message, was it 30 people a day? I forget. It had to be more than 30. I forget what the number was, but you basically message a certain number of people every day. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to be in people's inboxes, because people used to do that to me. That's another reason why I did not want to join this company, because people would like message me asking me if I wanted to lose weight. And I'm like 120 pounds soaking wet. So I'm like, you don't even care about me. You're just trying to get my money. So that was another thing. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to aggravate people. So I came up with a script that really worked well for me. And it was very warm. So when your messages are warm and your page is warm, there is no such thing as having a cold message or a cold page. So I created this message where it basically said like, hey Antoinette, how are you? I just had to let you know that I love your page. I love seeing the pictures of you and your family. You have a beautiful family. I can tell that you have a very positive outlook on life, and people like you are exactly who I look for to work with in my business. I think you would do amazing at what I do. Have you ever thought about becoming a brand ambassador, or have you ever thought about doing what I do? So first of all, people love compliments. I would send out messages all the time. Well, I started sending out messages before that. I was like, let me try. And people would open up my messages and they would never say anything. But most people have enough decency to at least say, oh, thank you so much for the compliment, but no thank you. Or they'll say, thank you so much. Can you tell me a little bit more? But I felt like my response rate was definitely higher because of compliments. You started out with a compliment. People love compliments. So that was a game changer for me. It's messaging. When it came to DT enrollments, that is really what helped me take off. And then the other part of that is making sure that your page is on point. Because if you're sending out messages about this amazing opportunity, but there is no proof to the pudding, then people are going to think you're a spam account, that you're a joke, and they're not going to take you seriously. So I had to make sure that my storefront, which was my page, always showed this opportunity and what it was doing for me. And even if I didn't, even in the beginning, I'm going to get off track for just a second. Even in the beginning of my business, when this business had only paid me like $30 my first month, I talked about it. I literally spoke everything that I'm experiencing now in my life. I literally spoke it 2 years ago. So even if you're in a place in your business where you're not bringing in that diamond check, or you're not bringing in an emerald or even a ruby check, talk about it. Speak that into existence. Talk about what the business is going to do for you. So during that time, that's what my post consisted of. Even back in November, I just started messaging back in November. And that's how the whole diamond, the double diamond and the triple diamond, that's how it came about. Enrollments just went through the roof, and my team was able to duplicate it. And we had opportunity calls. We literally are having them right now, Monday through Thursday. There's an opportunity call for everybody on our team to plug into to help with duplication and to help with closing. So having systems like that in place is also very, very helpful. And then 3-ways. 3-ways has also been really good. And not only 3 ways where I'm talking, but 3 ways where I'm listening. Or getting on Zoom. Like I have an appointment tonight at 10 o'clock. And I'm going to put in my group, hey, y'all, anybody want to listen to this conversation? And I'll just get on Zoom and tell them, do not say anything. Mute yourselves. And when they give me their card information, I'm going to click off. So having those things in place has been critical, very, very critical and very helpful.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely believe that we should, because we used to, back in the day, kind of have systems, but I think we kind of got away from it. But yeah, we definitely need to bring it back so that we're all like feeling like one. And so, well, I guess you kind of answered that question, but I was going to say, how do you market your business? But you already said social media. Do you have a preference of Facebook or Instagram?
So I talk to my team about this all the time. I really don't care for Facebook, but Facebook is bomb for host to post. It's bomb for opportunity calls, and it's bomb for events, right? So you have to know like why you use a certain social media platform. And then Instagram is where I get like mostly all of my distributors, although the two that I signed up today were both from Facebook, which is rare, very, very rare. But everything that I post on Facebook, as far as my posting, even my stories too, all of it's connected. I don't post to Facebook through Instagram. I do keep them separate. I just copy and paste it. But everything that I post on Instagram, I pretty much post on Facebook, just in case. And for Instagram, I like that the pictures are there. They're very pretty. I love the features with the stories. I love the new IGTV thing, which I have not used yet. Huh? Hey, Bree, he's right there. So I think it's very important to know why you need to use both of them, and just kind of use that to your advantage. So I love Instagram. I'm like an Instagram junkie. If you tell me I had to get rid of one, I probably would say Facebook, but I don't know. That's hard because Facebook really is good for those things that I mentioned before. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like always the time where I'm like, I'm tired of Facebook, but at the same time, host to post is so much better on it. Okay, so you did kind of answer this question too, but I know going forward, you've, wait a second. You've retired. So how has this business like truly changed your life? Because we have some people on the line that are pretty new, and of course, this is still like lukewarm to them. So they kind of want to hear like those success stories from like regular people like us, you know, instead of like the big top earners, you know. So how has this business like truly changed your life? Okay, wait.
Hold on one second. Are you going night night?
No, I can't go with you.
Okay, we'll go to the bathroom.
Okay?
I'm doing good. Go use the bathroom. Where's Daddy? Hold on, you guys. Hold on. I don't want to scream. Man, he's like, she can use the bathroom by herself. Okay. Okay, success. So this business, y'all, if you haven't already guessed, go use the bathroom so you don't have an accident, boo. You need me to come in there with you? Okay. So in terms of what this business has done for me, y'all, like I can't even put it into words because again, I was very, very skeptical. I mean, extremely skeptical. I literally am here off of obedience and faith. Like that is it. When I came, all I wanted was like an extra couple $100. I didn't even have a number on it because that's how bad off we were. Like anything would have helped. When I got that $30 check, I was excited. I was super excited because I had only been in the business for 6 days. So I was like, man. So I came in at the end of April and I got like a $30-something check. Well, my next one should definitely be like $100. And man, that extra $100, that can help with groceries or that can help with gas. And it really, really just put things into perspective for me on what this business could do for me. So outside of the financial part, I love to talk about everything else outside of that as well. So who you become along this journey is what's most important. First of all, you have to know that, okay, you need some tissue? Sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Mom life. It's okay.
I'm going to get my husband to help her. Go to my office. This is why I should have been in my office. Can you come help her? Thanks. Thank you. Okay. All right. So who you become along the journey. So basically, I dealt with a lot of things in my young adult years that really, and even growing up too. So I come from a family of politicians, right? My mom is actually up for re-election right now. And my dad was the mayor of Lakeland. He was on the city commission for like 17 or 18 years. So I come from a family where people were always watching our family. We always had eyes on our family. And it really, it was great growing up to see my parents be super fearless and go after their dreams and create a life for themselves and for us. But it also kind of made me super, like a really big people pleaser. Like I was always concerned about what people would think about what I was doing. And I always just lived in this bubble, in this false life that I really wasn't happy about, because I felt like I had to be somebody because I was Gow and Kay's daughter. You know, so it was very, very difficult. Growing up, my parents, my mom is the CEO of Girls Inc. I don't know if you all have ever heard of Girls Inc., but she runs 2 in Polk County, and my dad has his own insurance business. So growing up, my parents would be gone from like 7 o'clock in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night. Y'all know what happens when that happens. Like I was doing stuff I had no business doing, dealing with guys that I had no business dealing with, and just really created some habits within myself and some things within myself that had no place there. Like I should not have been faced with those things, but I should have, because I know now that it was for a bigger purpose. But as a teenager, I really was just wounding myself like over and over and over again, dealing with domestic violence, just all kind of crazy stuff, y'all. So when I came into this business, this is really deep. And I talk about it, but I don't like to talk about it a lot because it really makes me get emotional. But when I came into this business, I didn't really feel worthy. I didn't feel like God could really use me. And so when I think about like all of the things that all of the people that he has brought to our team, all of the things that he has used me to do, like the people and the issues that they come along with, I get to relate to them. I get to talk about my story. And I'm like, man, if God can use me, who is just all over the place, a hot doggone mess, like if he can still use me, then I know that he can use everybody and he is still good. So through this journey, I have discovered my purpose. I've discovered my worth. I've discovered my confidence. I didn't like to talk to people because I didn't have any confidence. If I was in a room full of amazing, beautiful Black women, I would go into a shell. Like, what? I don't have a place here. I can't go and work a room. I can't really be who God, I don't see myself the way that other people thought I had it all together. They thought, we had this perfect little life, and I was struggling on the inside. So through this business, it really has forced me to just be myself unapologetically. It's literally the biggest surprise and the biggest, I shouldn't say that, because my family and my baby will always be my biggest surprise, because we actually lost a baby before. So that's my biggest blessing, is my family. But outside of that, just because of who I am, who I have been able to become, and that has kind of poured into my family, I do think it's a great blessing, because had I not stepped into this new arena and this new lifestyle and this new business, I'd probably be that same miserable person who's faking the funk, trying to keep it together when I'm really just struggling on the inside. So another thing that has really helped me is to just be myself and be bold. Be bold in who I am and be unapologetic about it. I made a post the other day about, the nice girl. Like, I was the nice girl who just let anybody just kind of run me, just literally drag me around like a little rag doll. Like, you want to come and you want to talk crap, I'm going to just sit there and try to keep it together and be the nice person. Or if somebody comes to dump all their garbage in my lap, I'll be that person to allow them to do that. And this business has really toughened up my skin, like literally has toughened it up. And it has forced me to really just the different seasons in my business, because a lot of people don't talk about, the difficult times in your business. And I've had some difficult times. I've had to find myself in this business. I've had to stand my ground in this business. I've had to do a lot of different things. And so those experiences really have just, that type of stuff, you can't put a price tag on it. So if you check out before you allow this business to really change your life, you're missing out on all that you can become. And God placed us here for a reason. And he places us here to prepare us for a new season. And when you are getting prepared for a new season, you got to get pruned. You got to get jacked up. You got to get wrecked. You got to get torn into pieces. And that's what it feels like. But really, he's just putting things back together so that you can be ready for this next season in your life. And so those are just some of the things that, personally that I've been able to overcome. When it comes to financial stuff, just being able to just be free, like have money extra, like literally I have money just sitting in my bank account right now. Like I never had that. And that's not to brag, y'all. That's not to brag at all. But there were literally times where Wells Fargo was getting those insufficient funds. I was getting those notices every other day. I had an account attached to my mom, and it would go negative all the time. My mom's like, hey, just sent you some money. See, your account's negative. Hey, here's Avery's daycare. See, your account's negative. Hey, just trying to help me out. And now to be able to give to my mom, to be able to, like, I want to take a trip and I want to take my mom with me. I'm going to be able to do that. And so just really being able to dream bigger, y'all, knowing that you're not here for yourself. You're not even here for yourself. You're here for all the people that God is going to bring you. And if you focus on those people, man, things will happen right before your eyes when you don't even see it coming. So this is a journey. It's so much bigger than anything that you can put your fingers on, anything that's tangible. It's so much bigger than all of that. And I know that was super long. I'm so sorry. I love to talk. I'm super long-winded sometimes, but I think that it's really important to talk about that stuff because people don't talk about that. They don't talk about it. And it's important because when we come into this business, and many times while we're here, we're facing those demons. We're facing those spiritual battles. And we have to be able to talk about it because someone needs to hear it. And I think that's why I have such a good connection with my team is because I keep it real with them. I keep it real. I tell them, like, y'all, I'm drowning over here. I can't carry all this weight. Y'all want these promotions. You're going to have to work for it too. And I literally tell them, I'm taking friend hat off. I'm putting leader hat on. Or I'm taking leader hat off and I'm putting my friend hat on. I need my friends to step up. I need my friends to help me. And I think that it's just something that we have to do. I didn't even see all these messages.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you got a whole chat full, of people.
Oh, you're welcome, Crystal.
And see, it's funny because my next thing that I was just going to say was, could you give us 3 tips? Just any type of tips, which you kind of did a little bit, but if you wanted to kind of give any more tips, just either about the business, just inspirational, spiritual, anything you feel led to give us tonight.
Yes, I know, Crystal. I need to get on this YouTube. Like, God is just slapping me in the face over and over and over again. I have no excuse, so I really have to get it together. So, number 1 tip is flush all the excuses down the drain. Your goals do not care about your excuses. They don't care about your feelings. Like, no one cares. No one cares, and no one wants to hear it, and neither does your goals. That sounds very harsh, y'all. That's the red in me. I'm a lot of bit red and a little bit yellow. I call myself orange all the time. When I first came here, I was a yellow, like 100%. But now I'm like all the way red. So that's the red in me. It's coming from a super loving place. And it's coming from a place of, if you let your excuses, if you constantly allow yourself to excuse the things that you're not doing for your business, you're never going to get anywhere. And your team is going to think it's okay to do that. So you guys are going to get stuck. There's no excuse. Your why. So tip number 2 is your why has to be the forefront of everything. Even when, so that's the 3rd tip. So I'm not going to say that yet. Your why has to be everything. It has to literally fuel you. Your why has to make you tear up. When I was just talking about, my childhood and the things that I've done and the things that God has done through me, that is a part of my why. Like, I literally was over here fighting back those tears. When I was working so hard towards my goals, I knew I wanted to come home to my baby. I knew I wanted to come home and be at home full time. I knew I wanted to travel as I wanted to. I knew that I wanted to just be free. I knew that I wasn't happy at my job. I loved what I did, but I did not want to be a part of the politics anymore. Like, I wanted to be done. I wanted to serve in a bigger capacity, and I knew that God was leading me to something else. So that was my why. Like, even when I was at work and I would be frustrated, or even when, you know, things are going on at home, that may be unsettling. Me and my husband may just be at odds, and things are just not right. None of that stopped anything. It did not stop anything, because you have to learn how to compartmentalize. You have to be able to function in your business even when life is happening. So that's tip number 3, is that even when life happens, your business still carries on. So I think one of the things that kind of prepared me for It Works is that I also have a photo booth business. I'm about to close it because I don't enjoy it anymore. But I have a photo booth business that I've now had for about 3.5 years. And when I started this business, first of all, it was like 15 grand. Secondly, I had no help. I had no guidance. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I learned everything on my own. So when I got here to this business, I was like, oh, well, it's $99. I got this crazy, amazing team of support. I got all the tools that I need. So what's my excuse again? Like, what is it? So I feel like the photo booth really, really prepared me. And even when I feel like sometimes, man, that was just a waste. Like, I don't even know why I did that. I know why I did it. Like, it was to prepare me for entrepreneurship. So when you have life going on, it's not a matter of if. Life is going to happen. Life is not perfect. We have this false perception that life is supposed to be perfect, and you're supposed to be happy all the time, and it's supposed to go the way you want it to go. And that's not how it is. That's not how it is. So it's not, well, if life happens, then this. No, it's when. So while you have a clear mind, think about what you will do when life happens. Right? So come up with a plan, and that plan is having a system in place. It's having a daily 6 list. Like, I literally have the same 6 list that I do every day. It's a graphic that my whole team has, and it has 6 things that we have to do every day. So even when I'm feeling off, even like yesterday, me and my husband, we were like at odds yesterday, but guess what? I still got my stuff done. Even though I wanted to slap him across the face, I still got my stuff done. When my daughter is sick, I still get my stuff done. This weekend was family reunion. My husband's father is in the hospital. It was my husband's birthday. All this stuff in one, and I still got my stuff done. So it's just a matter of you making time for what's important and not letting life get in the way. And one thing that I always say to my team, and they always like, oh, here she go, because it's true. If you can get up and go to work, then you can get up and work your business. If people tell me, oh, Jasmine, I'm so sick, like, especially if they're close to me and I know I can have that conversation with them, I'd be like, did you go to work today? Yeah, I went to work today. Okay, well, just spend like 30 minutes on your business and then go get some sleep. Or if you need to take some time off today, make sure you pick back up tomorrow. Don't take too many days off. So really just not making your business that disposable item. Don't make it disposable. That should not be the first thing that you throw down the drain. If you can show up for somebody else's job, but you can't show up for your own business, then your priority, you still have that whole slave mentality. You have that whole poverty mentality going on. So make sure that you are pouring into your dreams more than you're pouring into somebody else's. So that's it. Those are my 3 tips.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I know, what time is it? Okay, just for a few minutes, I just wanted to let anyone ask any questions that they wanted to, and they can unmute themselves.
I had 2 questions, actually, after I dropped my face up because you were preaching over here. But listen, one of the things I was curious about is that when you get new distributors, like, what is your onboarding or what is your training process? What do you take them through? And my second question was, can you share what your 6 list is?
Yes. So let me grab my phone and I'll send it to Antoinette so that you guys can have that. Give me 1 second. I got left it in my room. So, hold on. Good night, baby. Kiss. Kiss. Love you. Have a good night, okay? Stay in your bed. She comes in our bed every night. Okay. So Antoinette, I'm gonna send you the 6 list so that you can share them. Share it with your team. Okay, here we go. All right, so that's that. I sent that to you to your messenger, Antoinette. And then as far as onboarding, so the first thing that I do is I put them in the Newbie to Ruby page on Facebook. And then I have them to write out their chicken noodle soup list, which is basically, if somebody, do y'all know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have them to fill out their chicken noodle soup list, and then I go ahead and set up a follow-up time to talk to them in 2 days. So like my DTs that I signed up today, I set up a time to talk with them on Saturday. And that'll just be a quick call to go over everything. And then I have like a 7-day guide so that onboarding looks the same across my whole team. And so let me pull it up. Oh, and I also have them to go ahead and think about a launch party and try to start thinking about getting that scheduled. I mentioned that from the very beginning. So I also asked them to write down their why, and then I post their flyer on social media welcoming them to the team. That's something that I'm always not consistent about, but I'm determined this month to get that done. And so this chicken noodle soup list is basically if you were sick and you needed some chicken noodle soup and you were stuck in your bed, who do you know would bring you some chicken noodle soup? Those are the people that you put on your list. That's kind of like the start of your 100s list. And so day 2, I have them to schedule their launch party. And then I also have like a link. We have a Google Drive, like a big team Google Drive. So I have a link that actually has launch party tips so that it could be duplicated across the board. And then I have them to set up 2 3-way calls with somebody off of that list. I send them that Ashley Hughes video that goes over the products. And then I have them to start sending out a message to that list that basically says, hey, how are you? I hope that all is well. So I had to share with you because I'm so excited. I just started my own business and I was thinking of people who I thought would be open to supporting me. And I thought of you. Do you have any health and wellness goals for yourself? I'm looking for 3 of my family and friends to try a product and give me some honest feedback based on their goals. Does that sound like something that you'd be interested in? It would mean the world to me. What do you need, babe? Come here. Come sit with me. No, you need to go to bed. No, you're not getting cereal. Come on. Okay. Well, if you sit there, you got to be quiet, babe. Okay. And then, Antoinette, I can send this to you, too. Know that you're special because I've never sent this to anybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
So day 3 is taking the color personality test so that I know what their color is, although I can pretty much pick up on it like from the first conversation. Okay. And then I have them to say product coach and to write down their dream team list. And so that dream team list is people that they would like to join them in the business. And I have a message there for that. And then I also do the eSuite tour and make sure they know how to enroll a customer. Day 4, I have them create a post on Facebook. I invite them to a social media training that we have on our team. I plug them into a newbie power hour that we also have, and I try to make sure they go ahead and close out their 4 customers, and then I add them to our group page. And then the next day they create a hype post on day 4, and then day 5 they do their first post, which talks about like their excitement, their why, their new adventure, all of that. And then I give them the Team Diplomat site as a resource for posting, because they have a lot of different posts there. And then the last day, they do their first product post. They catch up on what's not finished. We catch up over the phone, and I help them discuss like daily tasks and basically that 6 list. And then I add them to like the Young and Free and the Millionaires Academy. And if I place them under another DT, I introduce them, and then I have them to do 2 HSN host-a posts. So that's like, I know that was a lot, y'all. I'll send it so you can see it. If you're like me, you're a visual person. But that covers all the bases, like all. So there's no question, like you can't say you didn't get what you needed. And it's broken down by days so that it can be duplicated across the board. Any other questions?
Thank you. Well, I want to open it.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
You're fine. Just unmute yourself if you had any other questions.
Could you repeat your post schedule?
Yes. Hold on 1 second. Here you go.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, so my post schedule in the morning. So I get up, this is another, I can't believe I forgot to tell y'all this. So every morning we do a 4:45 a.m. power hour, Monday through Friday. Saturday we do a 6 a.m. power hour, because I'm like, okay, Saturdays we need to sleep in a little bit. And then Sunday we do not do a power hour. Sunday is like the day of rest. So that's key. That has been like that's what really took us to double and triple also, is doing those power hours. Because when you start your day off with wins, it's amazing. And as a mom, I know when I was getting ready for work, if I did not do those power hours, I was constantly thinking about, well, while I'm trying to get Avery ready for school, I'm thinking about the stuff that I needed to do this morning, or the stuff that I need to do when I get a second. I wasn't present in those moments. So those morning power hours are like non-negotiables for me. Even now that I'm off work, y'all, I still get up and do those power hours. I go back to sleep, but I get up and get those done, because she may wake up at 7 o'clock one morning. Like, I don't know when she's going to wake up, so I know she's not going to be up at 4:45. She's going to be knocked out. So I go ahead and get it done, and you feel so successful, so successful. So during that first 15 minutes, and I plan out all of my posts, the first 15 minutes of the power hour. So the first one that I do is an inspirational post, and I do that one. I post it anywhere between like 6:30 and 7:30. That's my goal, depending on what time I wake back up. But I literally save it in my all of my posts are in my Instagram drafts. They're not in another app. They're just right there. I just click and click. It's like 2 clicks and it's done. So at 12 o'clock, I do either a business or a product post. At 5 o'clock, I do between 5 and 7-ish. I'll do, well, not 7, probably between 5 and 6, 4 and 6. I'll do a lifestyle post, and that's not It Works related. Anything that's not It Works related. Today, it was about who wants to go to Portugal with me, and I posted a really nice picture of Portugal. And then at night, I'll do whichever one I didn't do earlier in the day. So between like 9 and 10 o'clock, I'll do a product or business post, whichever one did not get completed earlier. Y'all don't have any questions?
I was about to say, yeah, if you have any more questions.
Okay. How are you guys feeling about the month, or how have things been going with you guys up to this point? Like, how are you feeling about moving forward? There you go. Y'all are quiet.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Melisha. I just want to say that I feel very, very inspired and so happy about this meeting tonight, and it just inspires me and motivates me more just to get out there and just make this work for me.
Right. Good.
I'm feeling excited, super excited.
Good. That makes me happy. Very good. You can do it. All it is a decision. It's a decision to get it done, and it's a commitment for yourself and for
Exactly.
and for your team.
Yes.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, at what stage in your promotion or within you promoting did you figure out like your purpose? And then once you figured out your purpose, is that when your business like changed for the better? Or did you like join already knowing your purpose?
No, when I joined, I did not know my purpose, girl. I was lost as they come. Okay, I was super lost. I knew that God was calling me to do more. I felt like a tug in my spirit because spiritually, ever since I, met my husband in college and I really got serious about my relationship with Christ, like I knew that there was more for me to do, but I was very comfortable. I was very comfortable and afraid to kind of step out. But I always felt like people always told me like, my mom, like I'm the baby girl, so my mom is, and I'm like the most fearless one out of all of my mom's kids. And she's always like, there's so much greatness within you. Like my mom would tell me that all the time, there's so much greatness within you. Like you're going to be somebody really amazing one day. I know it. And I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? Like, whatever. Like I didn't believe it. Like I didn't know. And so I would say that things clicked for me when I realized that things were bigger than me. Okay.
Yep.
So when I realized that I needed to be an example, when I realized that God was calling me to really step out of my comfort zone, to really be a leader for other people, and I take that serious, y'all. Like I take it so serious. I don't feel like getting up every day and working my business, okay? I don't breathe, eat, and sleep at work 24 hours a day. I don't always feel like it. But when I get, it's so funny. I could be like, oh, I don't feel like getting on this 4:45 power hour. But I dare not get on that power hour. Like, how embarrassing would that be? I'm the one who started it. So how could I not get on it? And then it could be, I'm just like in a slump today. I'm in a funk. And my business partner, it's this one girl who literally gave me hell trying to get her to get signed up. And now that she's here, like she checks for me all the time. He's the one who told me like, you need to start that YouTube channel. I don't know what you're waiting on. Like she's always on my back about stuff that I need to get done. And so it's moments like that where I'm like, you know what? These folks really watching me. Like they are watching me. Like they have their eyes on me. And when I realized that, and still to this day, my husband tells me all the time that you don't understand the influence that you have. And when Crystal was saying that you need to start your blog, like I know that there are things that I need to do, but I pride myself and I really make sure that I always stay humble. Like I want to always be humble. When people see me, I want them to just see a regular old person because I am a regular old person. So I really, really just needed to see that God could use me. Again, it goes back to that whole thing. When I noticed that he needed me, when people would tell me like, Jasmine, I'm homeless. I have nowhere. I have 4 kids and I'm homeless and I need this business to work for me. Listen, y'all, that will make me hop out of the bed at 2:00 in the morning to help that person. And you have to just get over yourself. I had to literally get over myself and get out of my own way. This is serious business. I don't take business lightly at all. Like every time I pray, it's that God help us to understand that this is serious work. We are ambassadors for you. We are here to make a difference and bring people closer to you. There have been people on our team that literally did not believe in God and now they believe in God. Like there's no reason for me to sit back and do nothing. So that's when I found my purpose. I would say rank wise, it was when I hit Emerald, because when I hit Emerald, I was in a really weird phase in my business. I really was in a place where I needed to be more of a leader. I knew the needs of my team, and I knew that it was up to me to get it done. So I really, really just took things. I prayed to God, asked him to give me the tools, asked him to give me the things that I needed to do. And I wanted to be the best leader that I could be for people. And that was during that Emerald, because if anybody here is at Ruby and you're kind of stuck, but you're trying to get to Emerald.
Well, you just like read my whole life. I'm Emerald, trying to get out of Emerald. But the reason why I feel that the reason why I never left is because I had to go through that entire figure out my purpose and realize that this business was more than just me. And that was crazy that you said that.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but that's God. Like, that was real.
Absolutely. And you can get stuck. I have a lot of people right now on my team who are trying to get to that Emerald rank. And I always say that, you'll get stuck at at Ruby, because it takes leadership to get from Ruby to Emerald. That's that place where you literally are the Ruby, and then you got to build 2 Rubies on top of that.
Now I'm stuck. That's where I am stuck. At Ruby, and my fear now is being a new educator. I've taught summer school for years, but this is my first time having a classroom in a different school setting and in a different school system, and making time not only to teach, come up with lesson plans and all that, but to do the business and to train, because I'm trying to tie my business in with training, because you want people to exercise as well. And fitness has always been a big thing for me. So just trying to make time so that I can work the business, because it's been hard. Like, it's been really, really hard for me to obtain LCs lately. And I know when school starts, it's going to make it harder, because I have to really show myself to stay at the school that I'm at, because the school that I'm at is a very, high-end school. A lot of people want to work there, but most people can't get there.
Yeah, so you gotta get super intentional about your time. So if y'all saw, it was a while ago when I did that training on the Millionaires Academy, but I really talked about creating a zero-based schedule. If you know anything about Dave Ramsey, he talks about a zero-based balanced budget. Basically, all of your money has a place where it goes, but that zero-based schedule is everything. So you gotta just tell your time where to go. And if you gotta wait, I know for me, I was working. Go get it. It's right there. I know for me, I was working at a school, and I had to be up at 5:45 in the morning. And I hated getting up that early. I'm not a morning person at all. And I would be up until 10 or 11 o'clock at night, sometimes midnight, and then waking up at that time. So what I did was I was like, okay, listen, I don't know how to figure out this whole time situation. So only other option is for me to wake up an hour earlier. That's just what it was. And I had to just suck it up and get it done. And so, but when I did that, I made sure I went to bed at a decent time as well. So definitely finding those holes in your day, being super intentional. Y'all look at my schedule. It's so tedious. It's so tedious. It literally takes me about an hour on Sundays to set my schedule for the week. But if I don't do it like that, it's all out of whack. So literally from start to finish, there is literally something on my schedule for every moment of the day. I don't care if it's nap time. Nap time is scheduled in. I don't care if it's time for me. Sometimes I'll either do a nap or TV. Those are my options for my me time sometimes during the day. And so I will schedule that in. If it's that, my best friend tomorrow, she's moving, I got that written down on my schedule. Nothing happens by accident. We have to start waking up like an accident and start being very intentional about our time. So that's one suggestion that I would make, is to, first of all, utilize the resources in front of you. Like someone said, the school staff are going to be amazing LCs. People at schools are tired. They're burnt out. They need some greens. They need some energy. I kept greens on me. Somebody coughing, here, you need an energy. Somebody drinking Cokes at 8 o'clock in the morning, here, let me give you not an energy, some greens. If somebody's coughing or drinking a Coke at 8 o'clock in the morning, here's an energy drink, give it a try. And those people definitely became LCs. I got plenty of LCs. Just having your hair, my hair would be like this, a hot mess. And people are like, what do you do to your hair? Take these hair vitamins. You want some? You want to give them a try? I can get you some information. So just utilize what you have in front of you and just don't overthink it. Don't overthink this business. It's not hard. It's not hard, and you can do it anywhere.
Okay, I have a question. I'm sorry, I'm washing my hair too. What was the dynamics of your school? And I'm asking that because, like, my school is at a predominantly African American school. It's easier to promote and also to wear your natural hair, but my school isn't necessarily predominantly African American, so I will be wearing weave more, and I feel like it will be harder because I don't want it to be like, oh well, she's teaching but she's also working a business, and I just don't want any like negative drama or complaints coming from the community and from the parents.
So can I be completely honest with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't worry about that. Like, I was not in a predominantly Black school. I was in a white and Spanish neighborhood. There are no Black people in my neighborhood. And I worked like in my neighborhood. People would ask me, oh, is that your hair? Can I touch it? You know, all that kind of stuff. So, but I don't care. Like, I am just as qualified. My hair does not define me. I'm not changing my hair because I'm walking into a predominantly white school. Like, you are who you are. And that's all of this stuff ties into it's going to impact your business too. Be yourself unapologetically. Wear your hair. Wear your hair. And don't be, never back down from that because of the environment that you're in. And then as far as selling stuff, I was not walking around like, oh, anybody want to buy some greens, stuff like that. I was not doing that. I always had on, I just took it off. I always have on my It Works bracelet. And I'm an OT, so I do everything with my hands. I'm constantly getting people to sign stuff. I'm giving them tools to work with their kids in the classroom. And they're, oh, what's that? You do that? Does it really work? Or like I said, you are your walking billboard. If you have your greens in your hand, they shouldn't be in no dark container. They need to be in a water bottle so that people can see it and they can ask what it is that you're drinking. Or your natural hair need to be on point. So that when you run into that Black female at work who's going to ask you how they can get their hair to grow, you can have you know what to say back to them. So, drink your energy drinks. You can have your products at work. You can have your products at work. You don't walk around trying to sell them to everybody while you're on the clock. Now, don't do that. But if you're at your desk drinking your greens or drinking your energy drink, or if you go and take your hair vitamins while you're in a meeting, like, can't nobody say nothing to you about that.
Yeah. So, like, sneak it in.
I guess you could say it that way, but it's really not sneaking it in. Just think of yourself as a connoisseur, like you're not a connoisseur, a consumer. You are the consumer. Think of yourself as a customer. Like, if you have a coworker at work that's using the It Works product, you think they're not going to go to work and drink their greens? No, they're going to drink it. They don't care. Can't nobody. They're just using products. Like, if people are at work drinking a smoothie from Tropical Smoothie, ain't nobody going to ask them no questions. They're not going to get in trouble for that. So just think of yourself as a consumer. When you're at work, you're using your products. That's how you get customers.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I know you have a call that you're supposed to be doing at 10. So we definitely don't want to keep you off of that one. So I thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming on and hopping on with us. And so we definitely are cheering you on for presidential, because I know that's what you're trying to get. Are you trying to go this month or just like, soon?
So this sounds really crazy, but I set my goals. So my goal is to go presidential this month, y'all. But if it happens, it's going to be like literally God, and it's always God. It literally is always him. If it doesn't happen, then I'll be ready for next month. During the times where my ranks were stagnant, when I tell y'all I was so at peace, like everybody else over here freaking out because they ain't promoted. I'm like, it's not time. Like, and now I see. And last month, somebody asked me, are you going to push for presidential? Because they got the bonus and you went triple in May. And I knew it was not the right time. Like, nah, my team not ready for a presidential promotion. Like, we're not ready. So we're preparing right now. We're doing a lot of self-development, a lot of fill my cup type series going on, a lot of leadership trainings. That's what I did before this. I had Mary Beth to come on and do a leadership training with everybody. And so I'm really just pouring into the leaders, pouring into the team, and trying to get everybody on board to really just get ready to push again. Because last month was like a month of rest because we've been pushing since like November. But I'm like, okay, y'all, it's time to get back running. So we'll see. I'm just, whatever God has, like, I'm with it. Whatever he has, it could happen this month for sure, because that's just the kind of God that we serve. So I'm excited about what's to come.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll be here cheering you on. So definitely hoping and praying that God does that for you, and then hoping and praying that we can become a Triple Diamond team as well.
Yes. Are you pushing this month for Triple Diamond?
We're pushing. We're gonna push every month until God finally, solidifies it.
Yes.
But yeah,
I'll keep up the good work. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Well, you guys have a great night, and I will see you guys next week. And thank you so much again, Jasmine. And this is recorded, so I can get this over to you as well.
Okay. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.